All right. Good evening, everyone. And here we are. We're back from dinner, our post-dinner, our post-shoot dinner. And there we go. And right, Geoff. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, we got to turn off the background.
That's on. That's on Firefox.
There we go.
Shut down.
It wouldn't be an Axanar stream if we didn't have something.
Some tribble happened. Tribble happened. Anyway, hope you guys are doing great. We are running on coffee. Let me tell you, we are both. There's Chris back there with his Walking Dead mug that Rob Hayes gave me. There's Chris Hatch, red shirt number 3, and
I keep going up in rank but down in.
Are you?
Yeah.
You put me in as one.
Oh, are you one? Oh, okay, he's red shirt number 1.
And I'm a commander now.
He's commander red shirt.
Yeah,
commander red shirt number 1.
Oh, okay, commander red shirt number 1. Yeah. So anyway, hope you guys are doing great. Let's check. Oh God, you guys look at that. We're already up to 34 people. I mean, this is so last minute. We know, but we were out at dinner with the team. You know, we had 13 people at dinner.
It was basically like our wrap dinner.
Yeah, it was wrap dinner. We had a little wrap party yesterday. We're exhausted. A fantastic week. 2 days of shooting. It was fantastic. Mellon, I think, rated it a 9.8 out of 10.
Yeah, and honestly, if you give yourself a 10.10, like we said, you're delusional.
Yeah, you're right.
You're delusional.
You know, we could probably lower that to a 9.6 if we just thought about all the things we
we
could have done better, right?
Yeah.
You always think, I wish I'd done it, but that's how you improve is by thinking about those things. So, just here's the lowdown. We got a bunch of photos to share with you, and things. It's not what we thought it was going to be this weekend.
In all the best ways, though.
Yeah,
in all the best ways.
All the best ways. Originally, it was supposed to be we were going to do 3 characters. Myself as Garth, who has a lot of dialogue, obviously, and then Corax, who's the intelligence officer, who's Garth's love interest, although that doesn't play in the 2 episodes. It played in the full script, but it doesn't play at all in the 2 episodes. And then who was the third?
So we had Corax. We had Robert April.
Oh, Robert April, right? Rob Pralgo, who came back to reshoot his stuff from 2019, which was just not usable. And so it was,
and there was footage lost.
And there was footage lost. So it was just a disaster. So he came. So that was the 3. It was supposed to be. And Friday, of course, was the all-day bridge shoot. And
which
then
we have pictures from both days.
Yeah.
So you're going to be really excited.
And so what happened is last week, one of my classmates from Howard Fine Acting School, Howard Fine, I've talked about him before. He's one of the top guys in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, he was Austin Butler's acting coach. Austin Butler, who did he win the Golden Globe for Elvis? Or he won the Golden Globe for Elvis.
He won.
And Howard was his acting coach. So one of my old classmates, Tina Ari, she reached out. I had reached out to her because she had moved to Atlanta, and she doesn't use Facebook. So my messages went unanswered. And then one day she logged on, and it just happened to be last week. And we got, we were chatting about old times and who in classes succeeded and who's most of the students are not acting anymore. And so we were talking. I said, you need to come out and be on I was looking for background actors for the bridge at the time. And she's an attractive young lady. I said, you need to come be in the bridge. And then I was thinking about it, and we were talking. I was looking at her, and I thought, she could really play the Vulcan captain. She could really play it. And so anyway, I sent her photo to Mark Edward Lewis, our director, and I said, Mark, and I told Mark what I was thinking, and Tina was working on an audition tape, so she sent me our audition tape, and it was kind of flat, but that's cool. So I gave her some feedback, and Mark gave her some feedback, and she submitted another tape, and then another, and then another, and then I handed her off to and each one got better and better, and then I handed her off to Mark. And Mark worked with her, and Mark was like, she's it. So we brought her. You can let them in.
The dogs are getting restless.
They're
like, what's going on in there? Why am I not involved?
Exactly. So anyway, we said, okay, Tina. So I had to get ears FedExed in from Mike Spatola, our makeup artist. And
came very quick, by the way.
Huh?
It came very quick, by the way.
Yeah, he FedExed it. It was, we were lucky. And then and our makeup artist, I checked with our makeup artist, made sure she could do special effects makeup, which she did, and she got a wig. It was perfect, and so we added Tina to the mix, right? So by adding Tina in the mix, we now had 4, and that was probably 2 days of shooting because we weren't going to get me and 3 others in the time. So then, and then. We had to get someone else instead of James Liu, Emmy winner James Liu, who was Commander Tanaka. And there's an actor here in town, Vince Canlis. He's been in the industry for 30 years. He was in First Frontier. You may have seen him in First Frontier, that Star Trek fan film.
Hi.
Pee-wee's here. And all right, Pee-wee, you can't go to Geoff. He's allergic. So you can. And but we needed a Commander Tanaka. Itty, you have to get you cannot be in here. Chris, could you take Itty out?
There's a dog filter at them.
Yeah.
The filter is one can sit on Alex lap,
And,
that's about it.
Yeah,
That dog, come with me.
and Jeff's allergic. So
Yeah, I'm allergic to dogs and cats. I love them,
here, hold on.
but yeah,
Maybe stay there.
I have to take Allegra whenever I do one of
Mama
these.
can come in. Mama come here, Jack. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You got it. When you have 6 dogs at your house, you have to. They're always part of the mix. So just keep Itty out there.
Yeah.
If Zoe shows up, she can come in. So anyway, so Vince Canlis, we said, Vince, can you come in and play Commander Tanaka in the bridge scene? And it was great, and we loved him. And I was like,
We have time for one more person
Why
at
don't
that
we-
point.
I'm like, so I said to Mark, I said, look, Mark, I said, and Geoff, I talked to them both, and I said, look, guys, why don't we just use, because James may not even be able to make the next shoot. So why don't we get Vince in the can as Commander Tanaka? He looked it. He did a great job. I was like, yeah. And they were both like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Now, problem was Ted, who directs our performances in the interviews, my old acting coach who worked with Howard Fine, who's one of the best acting coaches in the country. He was only here for Saturday, and we were not going to get 4 actors and me done in Saturday. No way. And that pushed me to Sunday. It made sense that because we already had everyone scheduled. So it made sense that I go Sunday. And I talked to Geoff here about it and
The schedule.
The schedule. I said,
I knew that 4 was already going to take it close. And to be fair, after shooting, all day Friday, all day Saturday, there would have been, we took from beginning to the end of the day on Saturday to get everybody done, but to get lines and give all the actors enough time. So it's really good that we moved Alec. It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
There would have been no way.
So we were like, look, we can shoot me anytime, right? And if Ted wasn't going to be there on Sunday, I would rather be working with Ted because Ted has actually never directed me outside of class. And I said, I'd rather work with Ted. Let's just do it. We'll do it any other day. We can do it. So that was the decision and that we made. So we were like, but listen, we came into the shoot thinking we would get 3 actors done, which would have put us at 9 out of 17 actors shot out, which would have put us over 50%. And instead, we were going to get 10 out of 17 actors done. And that's a huge win. And, me being the other one will get me. So we made the decision and we scheduled everyone for Saturday, and Friday's shoot went great. So why don't we jump into the photos here? And let's see. Do I have to open the folder? I think I have to open the folder, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
And I think go to present.
And then present. Share screen.
Yeah. Then there you go. Exactly. Then
Right.
Actually, no. You may. How was that the way you looked at them before? I think we just got to change that page to the way you were looking at it.
Oh,
Go to view,
like
and then there, yeah, and then
okay.
full screen it.
And then okay, I'm gonna have to share it first. So
yeah,
let me share it.
Boom.
All right. So let me. We'll take you through this, guys. How do we can you full screen it, or is that just the way it's going to be?
Let's see. I think we're probably going to want to pull it up. Let's 2.
You just double tap it.
Yeah, but you have to do that for every photo.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
All right, we can show them it like this. That's like
Okay.
right,
So this is the first shot with Alec and Rob Hayes on the bridge. It's Garth and DeVille.
Yep. Yeah, and it's an absolute pleasure working with Rob. He's such a nice and decent guy, you know, and he's so excited to be part of the project. We love working with Rob.
And he gives everybody the time of day, no matter whether you're a crew member, you're a director, or you're a volunteer who's there. And he actually spent a lot of time with the volunteers, more time than I did because I was busy running around. So I was really appreciative of that.
He's great. All right. So next shot.
That's a steady cam on the bridge for the bridge scene.
Yep.
So a lot of crew action going on.
Yeah, that's Vince, the Steadicam operator, and that's in the and then that's the Steadicam operator. To his left is Jim, and then you see Barry, our sound guy, with the boom mic there. And then here is Mark Edward Lewis, who many of you know, in the captain's chair, and next to him is Ken. Ken was our first AD, and wow, we got our first and second ADs
last minute,
within both of them within 36 hours of the shoot. So that made the shoot so much
Ken not only was spectacular on set, but he made it possible to share all these photos like really quickly. He was a really knowledgeable guy, but he was also really happy to be there. And he was not a Star Trek fan, knew nothing about Star Trek.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's never seen an episode. He's never saw an episode, but he loved the set, he loved the crew, he loved the whole vibe we had, and he was an absolute pleasure to have. So
yeah, it was great, and everyone was a volunteer, so that's awesome. All right, and then here's the crew shot. Here's the cast that we shot with on the bridge. You'll see Vince Canlis as Tanaka on the left, and Rob Hayes is on the right. Chris Hatch here is on the right there, all the way over on the right. And then
we have Haley, and that's to the left of you.
Yeah, to the left of me is Haley, and then to the right of me is Adrian Wilkinson. My friend Eve Gideon is up in the back, and then Tina is who I told you about, who plays the Vulcan. We had her as background on this day, and she's up here on the left. And then we had two youngsters on the top row, all the way on the left is Quentin, and all the way on the right was Aaron, and they were from part of the Gwinnett County video production curriculum, and they were students of Allison, who is the wife of Dana Wagner, who's our construction coordinator. So there you go.
Genoveva in blue on the front there. Was an absolute hoot.
Yeah, she was hilarious. Yeah, next to Vince Canlis here in the front.
She just loved being there.
Yeah, she brightened the day for all of us.
Everyone you put it tactical is an absolute blast, and you kill them off almost every single time.
And here we are. The best part of this photo is up in the left. Live long and
prosper.
Is up in the left. Lauren is teaching Quentin how to do the live long and prosper sign. So, all right.
There's another shot with Vince on the Steadicam and Jim spotting him. That was a big thing that we had to do for this shoot. We did some update videos today, so you guys will find out a lot more in that. But yeah, it was real fun having these guys. There's a little tech shot of the camera setup we were using on the Steadicam. You see Chris over there on what station were you running, Chris?
I was an engineer.
He was an engineer.
He was engineering. Yeah. Sorry, Commander. There's us. There's the crew photo.
Yep, that's yep. So that's everyone who was behind the camera. The other photo was everyone who was in front of the camera. Here are the girls: Lauren, Jenny, and Stephanie, and they did a fine job. Here's Rob with Haley, little hamming it up afterwards. Here's Adrian Wilkinson as Corax. She did a great job.
Killed it.
She killed it. It was awesome because Corax is an Antosian. She's a shapeshifter. She has a relationship with Garth. that obviously, in the story that I've built out over years, that relationship plays out. So real excited to have her on board. She was just awesome, when she was doing her interview, especially, she's one of those actresses. She's a lot like Kate Vernon. You give her a note and she knows exactly where to go. And she knocks it out immediately. Mm-hmm. Here's Chris.
Hey,
who's that guy?
I don't know. I missed that beard he used to have.
Mm-hmm. And the long hair.
Yeah.
Here's Rob Hayes looking intent.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him about, you want to tell him about so we had problems with one of the computer screens,
and that's why it's amazing to have Dana on set with us.
Yeah,
because Dana, as much as I was running around back and forth from Video Village up to the set, Dana was running around equally as much, and he was trying to fix problems we had, and he was an absolute trooper, and we couldn't have done it without Dana. Dana was integral to the entire, especially mostly on Friday. Like, we couldn't have done it without him. It was amazing to have him.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this photo, that's Dana, and there's Haley, hoping that the monitor boots back up.
Please come back up screen.
All right.
There's another Vince shot.
Yep, there's Vince on the Steadicam. There I am with Rob Hayes in the foreground. Here's Adrian, Haley, who played Tara Wagner, and there's Vince playing.
There's the other Vince. Actor Vince, that's right. Now,
and just a little note, one of the things that we changed from the 2019 shoot, which keen eyes will note, is that the men's tunics arrived incorrectly. They arrived with crew necks rather than V-necks, whereas the women's tunics always had V-necks. And so when I did Interlude, we changed my tunic. I'm not sure if we changed Rob's that time, but this time I insisted that all the men's tunics had V-necks since we were reshooting. And so our seamstress, Karen Shuey, did a wonderful job and changed it. Here's Rob at a pivotal point.
Oh, yeah.
Even the fist. There's Vince looking intense. We just love Vince. He's great. There's
Vince
Haley.
Is fantastic. Haley killed it. She did an amazing job this weekend.
Wait till you hear the audio drama. It brought Dana to tears.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's Jim, our gaffer, and his daughter Misako. And Misako is training to be a gaffer, and so he brings her along, and she does our slate. And she does a great job,
an amazing job. And it was great because we haven't seen her in a year, because it's been 13 months since we did the last shoot.
That's right.
And she was like a little baby, and now she's turning into a young woman.
Now here's Ted Brunetti working with Tina. Ted is just a joy to have. He's always positive. He's always smiling. He is a freaking brilliant acting coach.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I was enamored. I had on the green screen days, I basically was camera operating right next to him, and I got a first view on not only how he directed the actors, but also like his note-taking process and his whole thought process of how he gives direction was brilliant. And now I understand from a crew perspective why Alec brought Ted on. He was just fantastic.
Yeah, he did great. And the other thing was, I was on set. Mark Edward Lewis, who directed The Bridge on Friday, is then on Saturday really as post-production supervisor
and the technical director.
Yeah, and really helping manage. He knows what needs to happen on that green screen, so it looks good when it gets composited in post. And so
and he was I was on one side of Ted, and he was literally right on the other side, and he was giving Ted notes because Mark is more knowledgeable when it comes to Star Trek. So when certain Star Trek stuff would happen, he would give Ted the notes of, hey, this is the situation, but then Ted would translate it into how he wanted the actor to deliver the performance.
And the great thing was Ted is just, he's just so open to that, especially because he doesn't necessarily know the canon and what's the background of even of these actors. But Ted was way better prepared this time than he was last time. He was used to us. He was used to the situation. He had read the scripts very well. He had right questions, and he and I had some great interactions. Here is Tina getting her ears applied, which was, needless to say that.
And by the way, we'll get to all your guys' questions in a few minutes. We're going to go through the photos, and then we'll go through all the questions because we know you guys have a bunch.
Here, again, Tina's getting her ears done. Here's Jim and Misako again, having a good time on set.
Oh, and there's Rob Pralgo.
Who's our Robert April. Yep, who had worked with Ted before and loves Ted.
He was ecstatic. He was ecstatic to be working with Ted again.
So excited. Yeah.
There you go, a Cluston's angel. Your answer to your question.
Yep.
Yep. And there's Tina enjoying her ears and her wig.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Ted looking all intense, working with Rob Pralgo.
Mm-hmm. And there's a beauty shot of Rob on the bridge.
Yep. There's Captain April.
He is not Captain April, I can't tell you who is.
He totally owns that. Now here's Tina as our Vulcan, Captain Arev, working with Ted on set. Now, she looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great shot. Mm-hmm. She's got and boy, I tell you, Mark said she had nailed it in rehearsals with him. And her last video with me, she was still working through it. So she hadn't gotten where she needed to go. Boy, she came on and she just owned this role. It was just a beautiful thing.
There's Vince.
There's Ted. I mean, Vince. There's Vince.
He's letting us know.
There's Adrian. Got a great shot of Adrian on the bridge. Here's Ted again working with Rob. You can see our set. I wish I had a better photo here of our setup, our green screen setup. But
no, there's a good one coming up. There's a good one coming up.
There's Tina. This is for the establishing shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there we go.
Here's the shot of the green screen setup.
So you can see there's the two screens in the lower right are where the DIT sits, right?
Correct.
Tell them about
and also, like, this is a still picture. This isn't video, so it doesn't completely accurately represent the keying of the green screen. But essentially, this is our green screen setup. We have, there are two lights on the top lighting the green screen. Then we have our supplemental lighting, our key light, our fill light. We've got a hair light. We also used a lot of like colored lights for the actors. I think that's kind of like the biggest difference that we're doing compared to Prelude. There's a lot of color on everybody. And it's not overpowering, but we're using it to kind of just bring in a different look. So we got Jamie, the DIT, with the two screens on the bottom right. And with Jamie's whole job is to make sure that, we get all the footage. And if there's anything missing or anything looks out of the ordinary, he literally comes to me as the DP and is like, hey, he did one time. He's like, we went from shot 14 to 16 and there's no 15. That's his job, to make sure every single thing is accounted for. And even though it turned out that someone just formatted a card twice and there's no footage missing, we needed to know what happened. We needed a solution. Then on top of that, with Jamie as the DIT, he also feeds the camera feeds from both cameras to the multiple screens. So we each have our own monitor, which is absolutely essential because as the DP, I need a monitor. Mark needs a monitor as the director to see the performances, because you can only do so much seeing the performance with your eye, because that's not what the cameras capture. So what the camera captures of the performance is more important than what you're seeing in real life. And so everyone needs to have a monitor to see how it's going to look. And the DIT helps provide that.
Yep, exactly. So it was just a wonderful setup. And again, working with Ted is just awesome. We just had a great time. So
was that the end of the photos?
That's the end of the photos.
All right, so
we got through them.
Probably put them down.
All right. Well, we're going to go through your questions now. God, we got through 63 people watching right now. So obviously everyone's ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, Donnie Pearson does mention the passing of Anne Wershing.
That was so upsetting.
It's so sad. Who played the Borg Queen in Picard. Passed away at the age of 45 from cancer. So our thoughts and prayers out to her family.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else you got. Thank you, Donnie. We agree. We agree. Thank you. What else we got? They have a relationship. Yes, they have a relationship. And of course, that relationship, she's Antosian. So obviously we all know where Garth, the story of Garth and the accident that sends him to her home planet. Now you know why he got sent to that planet. Let's let's see. Jens loves the uniform detail. Thank you. Troy asked how many hours was the shoot?
So on Friday, and I'll explain another thing after this, but on Friday, I think it was, we got there from 6 a.m. and we wrapped at 6 p.m. So it was 12 hours. And then on Saturday, we got there at 7 a.m. and we wrapped at 7 p.m. So I guess both days were 12 hours. But what made it possible to do a straight 12-hour day on both days was, again, the pre-production, which you're going to see from the videos. That was, a really big thing from this shoot. Not just the pre-production on the past, month and a half leading up to the shoot, but also, I got here like 3 days early. Jim came in a few days early, and we set up a lot of the lighting beforehand. So really the only thing camera had to do on these days was set up the camera, not set up lighting and deal with all this extra stuff, which allowed us to really just deal with the actors and not have to have the actors wait on camera in order to, do a shot. Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes the camera, takes a while to set up and do whatever. And then, we're waiting to get another actor in. So that was a big thing with this shoot, with pre-production.
Absolutely. I tell you, that was great. It was great that Geoff and Mark came in early, and we were at the studio Wednesday, Thursday, just working all day. And the amount of work that those guys did talking to each other. I mean, we had a group chat set up a month ago.
Yeah, we were texting almost every day.
Yeah,
not on the phone every day, but definitely texting every day. We were on the phone a few times a week. Sorry, I'm getting my coffee because I'm just so beat right now. But it was great. I'm really, really happy with the footage, how it came out.
Yeah, it looked great. All right, we're gonna scroll through your comments here. Yes, thanks to Karen Shuey, who is our seamstress, for doing all the great work getting our costumes ready. It was, and that entailed putting patches on some costumes, doing the V-necks on the men's costumes. There really wasn't too much tailoring that had to be done. Special thanks to Claude and Angela over in Italy for all the tunics for the green screen shoot, all the cage tunics. They were, there you go. They looked great. Fit the girls really well. Rose Kirby, haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Boy, it's been a year or two there, Rose. Hope you are doing great. Val is already in love with Rob
Captain
Falgo.
April. Yeah, Rob was great. He was fantastic. I was happy to see him. He's been in a lot since we shot him in 2019 till now. He's been in so many things.
He is a working actor.
Yeah,
he's a working actor. Like Vince was one of the gods in Black Adam.
Yeah, and he was in WandaVision since the last time.
And he was in WandaVision.
Actually, I think he shot WandaVision probably within the same few weeks that we shot 2019.
Oh, probably, yeah, probably. Let's see what else is up. Yep, thank you. Yep, they're all Cage era uniforms because Prelude to Axanar and the 4 Years War documentary, which these two episodes are part of that, right? They're episodes 4 and 5 of the 4 Years War documentary. Takes place 10 years after the war itself. So there you go.
Which is Cage era.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that happened in 2019 that we avoided this time. It was just, and most of it was preparation and people. Those are the two things let's see. Yeah, and listen, thanks all for coming out at last minute. I know this was we got home, we were thinking, well, maybe we'll just do it tomorrow. And I was like, no, we really need to get the information out. We wanted to get the photos out. We wanted you all,
especially because tomorrow is going to be a big day where we really dial down the footage, and I don't think we'll have time to do a live stream. So it's better to just do it today.
And all right. Yes, Knockwood, Alex Bornstein will be back.
I love that. There's an Irish coffee question, and no, I'm way too tired for Irish coffee.
No way.
This is real. At this point, it's black coffee.
Ever since that, I was astonished by everyone's performance, despite whatever trials you may have endured. Pressure like that. Thank you, Sean. That is very gracious of you, and we appreciate that. Well, thank you. We appreciate that too, Todd. You're very generous with your comments. Yes,
great product placement.
Because you can get your Axanar mug from Aries Studios. All right. Well, I think.
We've gone to the end of the comments.
Rose says, Alec, how do I watch what you have shot? Is Aries Studios or Axanar channel? So you can't watch it yet.
Yeah, we literally just shot it.
Yeah, we just shot it. And now we have the big LA shoot coming up. And so that's the next big project, is getting the LA shoot together. Now, the nice thing about having done Arev, the Vulcan captain, here, and having done Vince as Tanaka here, which those two characters were characters to be in LA. So now for LA, we only have two Andorians, one Klingon, one Vulcan, and two humans. That's 6. And we can do that in 2 days rather than 3. So I got to redo the budget and figure how much money we save by only shooting 2 days. Hopefully it's significant.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's where we are. So hopefully, we're shooting for this fall. That's what we're shooting for. Let's see.
Look, we got a guest appearance by Rob Pralga.
Oh, there's Rob.
It was great working with you, Rob. You killed it this weekend. You did an amazing
Rob.
job.
Absolutely loved having you there. It was really great. I know you love working with. I know you love working with Ted. We borrow the name Wilhelm. We borrow the name. Rob, Rob Pralgo. Well, it's 10:05 already. We're Rob. We'd love to get you on. Maybe we can do a live stream tomorrow with you, Rob. We'd love to have you on and talk about your experience, because you were also in First Frontier, so we'd love to chat about that. Oh, yes, because Vince was our Frosian in 2019. So Paul asked, will you be able to use any of his Afrosian scenes too? Yeah, that's actually a different time frame too. Yeah. He played the Afrosian. That happens after the Ares goes to space. So it's later in the script, right? At this point, this is the first act. This is the first act, and this is where the scene we shot on Friday is the first battle between the Ares and 2D6s. And so it's the first thing you see right in the beginning of first act. Vince plays an Afrosian, and he plays that later in the story. But since we're not shooting the movie, it really doesn't matter.
It looks very different, different.
Yeah, absolutely. We're shooting for May or June. We'll see. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. We'll see. And Chris, where are you, Chris?
The guy right behind us.
He's a ringer. He says, will you kill a red shirt on the LA shoot? Well, are you coming to the LA shoot?
Hell yeah.
How did the new displays work out in the computer consoles, Raspberry controls? Yeah, that it all works very well. Mm-hmm. You're always going to have problems. And the Raspberry Pis, a lot of them had to be replaced. But yeah,
that's why it was great having Dana, though.
Yeah, and the problem with the monitors is they're old computer monitors. Mm-hmm. It's not brand new stuff that we're using, and you have to, for the size, to get the size you need to fit.
Especially the square ones. I mean, like most monitors are 16:9 now. And
yeah,
they were all square monitors, So
yeah, exactly. So there you go. So. Just to recap, because we're going to go to bed. We're all exhausted.
I'm sure you guys can tell we are just so
tired. We're tired. We're running on adrenaline. And Chris has a 8:00 flight, so we got to take him to the airport. So that means we got to get up at like what did we say? 4:30 in the morning? 5?
No, because
a nice round 3.
What's that?
He said you said your flight's at 8:30?
8, yes.
8:50.
Or an 8:55 or something like that.
Let us know. We'll figure it out. But we got to get up early. Mm-hmm. So there you go. George M says, you appeared on other fan film sets before. Would you consider a crossover episode with a TOS era fan film production? Listen, we're always in support. We're limited in what we can make of Axanar, right? But that doesn't mean we can't do other things with fan films. I've appeared in Vance's fan films. I appeared in Interlude, which was a fan film of Axanar. So we're always open. We want fan films to come and use our sets. We'd be thrilled to just have another fan film use our set, right? So there you go. So here's what's left. So now we have 10 actors in the can, 7 to go. Myself and 6 of the actors that'll be in LA. Now, it could be like, say we get one of the actors in LA for LA for that shoot, and they're not available that weekend. And we're like, well, we got the other 5. What we would do then is we would fly that actor in when I shoot, right? So the shoot that I'm going to be doing, it's kind of the safety valve. It's kind of the catch-all. It'll be after the LA shoot. Anyone if we can't get someone in LA, boom. And you never know. It also gives us the flexibility to say, well, this line didn't work for this actor. Maybe we get another actor, another character to do that line, and then we can throw them in the shoot with me. But basically, you're talking about 3 days. It's the same. It was going to be 3 days in LA. Now it's 2 days in LA, 1 day in Atlanta, which is a lot more manageable for going out west. I mean, basically, Mark's in Tennessee, Jeff's in Florida, I'm in Atlanta. And Crystal's in Atlanta, and we all have to fly out to California. And I was trying to get Crystal to come down to talk about, but we'll get her tomorrow, hopefully, to come and talk to you guys about. She was producer on the Bridge Day and did a great job, basically feeding the crew, took care of all of that, took care of paperwork and stuff. So it was really important. So I'm really glad that Crystal did that. And I got to say, the studio looks amazing.
Especially because we had to go there and film. So it was cleared out and cleaned out.
Yeah. The lobby's all set up now really nicely. So yeah, it's we're lucky. Things are going really well, and we're really excited about it. Thanks to everyone who donates to the studio Patreon campaign. We appreciate that. And let's see, anything else?
Just trying two good questions in there.
Yeah, what was the last one? Maybe I missed something, but what happened to Tony Todd's character from Prelude? Oh, okay. So since Tony's not coming back, we killed off his character. No, we didn't kill him off. There's a whole story there, which you see in Interlude. Basically, I had it written into the script that Ramirez was injured in a Klingon attack, and Jonathan Lane read that in the script and pulled it out and said, I want to write a story about this. So he wrote a story about it and said, I want to make a fan film of Axanar. And he did, with Josh Irwin of Avalon Universe. And they made Interlude, which you can find on the Axanar channel. Go down there and look at, I think it's the Axanar Universe playlist, and you'll find Interlude there. And it's a well done fan film. Josh, as always, does a great job. And Jonathan wrote it, and he wrote a story because Jonathan loves Axanar, and it was very well done. So there you go. So, and that gives us the opportunity also to bring in another actor, which we have an interesting actor planned for it, to play Admiral Threll, which is the Andorian that takes over when when Admiral Ramirez is taken out of the war. He's injured and sits out the rest of the war in a hospital. So, which is kind of inspired by the movie Midway too, if you know that. So anyway, there you go. So hopefully that answers the question. There's Dale Simpson, our good buddy Dale Simpson. It was great to meet Frank and Donna. Yes, Frank and Donna Parker. Frank who created Dreadnought Dominion and now does Crossroads, I believe is the name of his production. So great to have them down there. Well, yeah, we've taken so long because we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars, Zach. So that's why that happened. If someone had given us $1 million after CBS basically bankrupted the production with their lawsuit, yeah, we would have been done by now. We would have been done in 1 year.
So it's had to come back together with absolute love, attention, care, and everyone basically pulling this thing up by its bootstraps and loving it back into complete existence. And it's been freaking phenomenal working with these people who have such a great passion for this project. So stick with it.
Thank you, Chris. So there, yeah. Will the Axanar documentary shot in segments? If so, what is their running time? Yeah, it's 2 15-minute episodes. Prelude was 20 minutes, 21 with credits. And Michael was there all weekend. Michael Questenberry, he was impressed. Good. Thank you, Michael. We appreciate it. And let's see. Everything is on the Axanar YouTube channel. Doug, everything we've done is on the Axanar YouTube channel. Check it out. We take a lot of pride in the way we organize it, so it's easy to access everything. Thank you, Zach. We appreciate that. We will be on tomorrow, which is the 30th, right? Today's the 29th.
It's the 30th.
We'll be on the 30th. Yes. Yeah. Admiral Holzer got shingles. It was pulled out of the war in Midway. Yeah, exactly. And he was played by Robert Mitchum, right? Robert Mitchum. He was played by in Midway. And that's a great hospital scene between him and Glenn Ford as Spruance. That was just a great scene. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, really. Midway is a touchstone for this movie, for Axanar. Midway is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I took a lot of inspiration from it. And there's certain things that are done in the Axanar's full script, especially, that are really drawn from Midway. And of course, Charlton Heston, who is the star of Midway, plays a fictional character. And what's the name of that character? Someone, what's the name of Charlton Heston's character in Midway? I'll have a prize for the first person who puts it in the comments.
By the way, there's Brian Bates. Brian was the behind-the-scenes photographer who took all the photos you saw. So, Brian, thank you for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Yep, all those photos. Brian was awesome. He walked around with both of his cameras. He was just nonstop, all over it.
Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. He was great. It was wonderful having Brian on set. It really was. Quaid. No, not Quaid. Yeah, that was the new one, right? Yeah, the original Midway, not the new Midway. Yeah, Al Brown says, and an hour and a half of deleted scenes.
We wish.
I'm not sure if we'll show it at Dragon Con out. We'll see. So, yeah, still no one's gotten what Charlton Heston's character. Don't IMDb it. That's cheating. No, Nimitz was played by Henry Fonda. Well, okay, we'll follow up. You guys can
we could save that for tomorrow.
We'll save it for tomorrow. I'll have a prize for someone who doesn't use IMDb or Google and figures it out. Go watch the movie. We should do like a watch party for Midway. Okay, there we go, Tesla. Well, Tesla, you cheated because I've told this story many times before. But anyway, Tesla, yes, you're right. You probably knew that anyway. Yes, and Wright also writes the blood. Thank you, Wright. Wright is a new member of the Aries Studios Patreon, by the way. So thank you very much, Wright, for your contribution. Okay, guys, that's it. We went over. We are going to call it a night. Wow, up to 70 viewers. There's Chris Hatch, Lieutenant Red Shirt number 1. Commander Red Shirt number 1. Okay. Who was at engineering on Friday's shoot and did a spectacular job. So that's it. We will be back. We're excited. We've got 50% of Axanar in the can, at least the principal photography, not the VFX.
And we'll be more awake tomorrow for the next one.
And we won't be as punchy. So thank you so much, everyone. We really, really, really appreciate your patience, and we can't wait to deliver Axanar, because let me tell you, what we got on film, not just on the bridge stuff, but the interview stuff, was gold. It was amazing. Especially Adrian was amazing, and especially last minute additions. Vince and Tina, that Vulcan captain that Tina portrayed was She's going to knock your socks off.
Mhm.
You're going to love it. All right, everyone. We're going to go to sleep. Good night. We got to get Chris up there. Chris,
We got to take him to the airport.
Got to take him to the airport first thing in the morning. So we need to go to sleep. Bye. And we will definitely do a live stream tomorrow, maybe earlier in the evening, so we can get some of the people from Europe on and just watch your notifications. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure, especially that you're on the Axanar newsletter list. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you tomorrow.
You gotta,
I gotta
move it over.
I gotta do.
You know the typical stuff.
This
Like, subscribe.
Night, guys.
Ring that bell.
Night.